Hey again. So this is part 2 of our homeschool schedule. So in this video, I wanted to share with you what our actual schedule is and kind of maybe how you can implement it. So before I get into the nitty-gritty detail of the schedule, I will say that I saw a YouTube video. It is from funcheaporfree.com, and she has this, it's called My Daily Block Schedule, and that is what I used. I watched her video. She has this very detailed video. Hers is not specific for homeschooling. It is just kind of like in life having a daily block schedule and what that looks like. So I went and took it and then tweaked it for us and implemented what our homeschool schedule looks like, as well as like our whole day. So that's the schedule I'm going to show you. I will make sure to link to her video, and I believe in her video in the comments, or not in the comments, but in the description under her video, she lists out where you can get her free printable. So you could go and print that, and if you feel like doing a block schedule, then you could try this. So I'm a huge fan of that, and that has been a game changer for us with our homeschool days. And one of the things I was going to say is when you do a schedule, one thing to consider is as you implement the schedule, you're definitely going to want to get the buy-in from your kids. So like when I started a schedule, I definitely went in and I sold it to them the day that we started it. I was like, this is amazing. We're going to start this great new schedule and you're really going to like it. And from now on, you know, like when we're having a school day, this is what a school day is going to look like. It's going to be kind of organized like this. And here's our time frame. And we're going to have these like goals to hit our time frame. And they got really excited about it. And so I think maybe if you implement a schedule, see if there's a way that you can get, you know, kind of buy-in by being enthusiastic as you share it with your children. Or if they're struggling to kind of implement, maybe you could offer some sort of like, you know, celebration or surprise or something at the end of the week after you've done a week of your new schedule. Who knows, even a day of your new schedule, whatever it takes. The other thing I was going to say is just give yourself time and grace to adjust to a schedule. Also, there's going to be a lot of tweaking happening in your schedule. So what I would recommend, like, since we've been doing this for several years, when I approached this schedule and I filled it out, I kind of was able to see how we already were operating in kind of different rhythms, but I was able to really hone it in and make it very specific for us. So if this is your first time, you know, attacking homeschool or whatever, what I would recommend is making a first rough pass, like print this off and go ahead and like fill it out for kind of like your dream ideal scenario. But then as the weeks go on, see what's been working and what hasn't been working. And maybe, you know, 5-6 weeks in, you're going to want to print another one, tweak it, and make it something that's more realistic if you were too ambitious, or maybe you weren't ambitious enough and you find, wow, we could get more done in the day. So just give yourself, time and grace to adjust your schedule. Okay, so I'm going to show you our schedule. Let me see here. All right. I'm going to see if I can hold this steady and not shake too much while I go over this. So this was the little Fun, Cheaper, Free daily block schedule. And what I did, you can see where the dark black is here. Those are the original columns. I actually added in that column, or I split that column in two. I split that column in two. And I split that column in two because I'm just so detailed. I wanted to add more time chunks. So like here I listed me time. This usually is from 6 to 8 a.m. So if I get up at 6, I like to do like Bible reading or writing or running or showering. That is when it's kind of my time. Now I have our kids, they have clocks in their room that tell them like when it's 7:30, they can start playing. When it's 7:45, they can start that's when they would start cleaning up their room, getting dressed, and then they come out at 8. So here is our morning time. So I know that our morning time is from 8 to 9:30, and in this window, and the Fun, Cheaper, Free girl, she explains in detail kind of like what you put in each column. But basically she says, you know, it can be anything. Like you're not going to accomplish all of that in one day. It's just, those are the things that you're going to do that you could do. You could pick from each of those within that day. So in morning time, it can be any of those things. And, that's what morning time is. So we have breakfast. I'm going to make breakfast. We're going to eat breakfast. We're going to clean up. I usually make crock pot meals in the morning for dinner. So that's my dinner prep. We, in our homeschool curriculum, go through some Bible devotions. So we'll read a Bible usually while the kids are eating breakfast. And then, I hope this isn't shaky. My arms apparently aren't very strong. So it's like, I feel like it's shaking. I'm like losing muscle strength holding it up with one hand. No, I'm kidding, kind of. I like to do one load of laundry in the morning. So like right as I'm coming down at 8, I'm like, my goal is to do one load of laundry per day. So this is when I throw it in. And then I want to make sure kids brush their teeth. So those are the goals in that time window. So by the time 9:30 ends, I now enter into what I consider our main school time. This is table time. So for us, these are like kind of more of the workbook sort of engagements. This is not necessarily when we do our reading time, like the other subjects. Now you can see here science or history is listed in our morning time. If we get done with breakfast and reading our Bible, then, and we have, say, 20 random minutes before 9:30 hits, then maybe I would have us read a little bit of our history for that week, or maybe our science. Most mornings, I don't have time for that. So then 9:30 to 11:30 is the bulk of our time. This is when I usually position our language arts, our phonics, our spelling, or like going over math. And so I put all of those options there. Oftentimes, and I could do a whole other video about this, but oftentimes what I do is I place the hardest subject at the very beginning and the one that requires my attention the most. So usually that's with my oldest child, and it's usually somewhere in the phonics, like, well, really any of these, honestly. And so I'll position the hardest ones, the ones that are most even difficult, the ones we maybe don't like the most. I'll put that at the very beginning of this time because I'm simultaneously setting up my other two kids with like activities. And so they're most excited at that window to go and do their activities. As that window closes and they become antsy, maybe it's closer to the 10:15, 10:30 window. And I want to be wrapping up the hard stuff by then so that I can kind of do lighter stuff with those guys. So around 10:30 is our snack time. So kids know it's 10:30. So when they ask me during the day, is it snack? I say, no, it's not 10:30. So we wait until it's 10:30 to have a snack. So that kind of solves our kids eating all the time scenario. And also 10:30 is a really good break point. It allows me to see like, what did we get done? And is there another subject I want to do with them? Like maybe while we're eating our snack, usually when they're eating food, I might do one of these ones, science or history, which I know that's in the morning time block, but I carry that over because it needs to get done. So depending on like what we've gotten done from here, if I have more time, we'll add in science or history then. Okay, so from 11:30, we stop. It kind of doesn't matter where we're at, we just stop. Whatever we didn't finish, it's gonna carry over to the next day. This is where during this window, 11:30 to 1, in this window, there is outdoor time. So obviously when it's nice weather, that's easier. But basically if it's winter, that would be kind of like playtime. I would say, okay guys, now's your break, go play. And while they're playing, this is when I schedule appointments. I feel like I usually need to make a phone call for something somewhere, whether it's yard stuff, doctor appointments, dentist, like who knows. That's where kind of that is. Maybe I'm calling Amazon to make a return. I feel like I call Amazon all the time. Then I change the laundry. So I either like put a new load in or I at least move the load I put in the morning. I do grocery prep. So this is when I start to make like a meal plan for the week. So that would be usually Mondays I do that. And then during this window is when I make lunch. We eat lunch, we clean up from lunch. All of that happens in this window. Okay, then from 1 to 2:30, this is where we do our couch stuff. Couch stuff would be where we're just sitting and kind of reading together. So that would be history, because our history books are easy to read together. Literature and kids' readers. So during that window, it's like usually looks like we're snuggled on the couch reading, or sometimes we go into my youngest daughter's room, and I let her lay in her bed while we lay on the floor and read. And that way when reading time is done, she's already pretty quiet and tired, and then we just exit the room and she begins her nap. Her nap usually runs from 2:30 to 4:30. Sometimes I don't get the older kids calm until 3, so I get a quiet time from 3 to 4:30. This is absolutely necessary for me to keep my sanity in life is to have a quiet time. So the youngest one naps. The two older ones will play together in their room. My oldest daughter, sometimes if this is when she does her math. So I give her math worksheets. I make sure she knows what she's doing. Like we go through all the instructions, and she'll like go in our bedroom, and I have like a little like portable desk. It's like a travel desk that you would like use in a car. So she sits with that and does her math homework in our room, and then, or her math worksheet. And then when she's done with that, she goes over into her bedroom with my second kid, and they play together during that time. They could read books, and then during that time, they also have a clock that's set to tell them like when quiet time's wrapping up, and it's time for them to start cleaning their rooms after they've been playing. And then during that time, that's when I either like get my groceries lined up and ready, the grocery list, or I order the groceries. I will make sure the kitchen's clean. I might use that time to write, or honestly, I use that time to rest a lot. So that is when I'm either laying down and sleeping, or I'm watching a show and rejuvenating so that I have energy for the rest of the day. From, 4:30 to 6:30, this is when we have either like kids can use apps, or I work on dinner. This is where we make dinner, we eat dinner, we clean up dinner, and I do any follow-up grading. So usually from like 4:30 to 5:30, that's when they're doing their math apps, or I have a piano app they can do. That's when I'm sitting down reviewing the math that my daughter did during her quiet time. We're going over that together. I might let them watch a show, they can play together. This is when we make and clean up dinner. The kids can play outside, or maybe the kids could do some sort of exercise, like a YouTube video or something, who knows. And then from 6:30 to 7:30, so dinner's now done. This is when we're basically prepping for bed. They get PJs on, they'll play a little bit. We might do some bedtime reading. So any of the reading over here that like we didn't get done, we could read that while they're laying in bed, you know, getting ready to go sleep. We brush teeth. See, I'm super detailed. I have to write down brush teeth or else it will get forgotten. And then from 8 to 10, which usually looks more like 8:30 to 10, because by the time we get kids settled, it's usually 8:30. 8:30 to 10 is off, which is so nice. This is where me and my husband either watch shows or we connect. I could use that time to write, I could read, I put away laundry, whatever. It is downtime. The day is done. So that is our schedule. I hope that was helpful. Let's see if I can flip it around. I hope that was helpful, and that has been working like super well for us. So it's been nice to have that. Some days we don't. Some days we just like throw the schedule out, especially if it's like, oh, we're meeting a friend at a playground, or we're doing whatever. You know, the schedule can alter and change. But in general, when we're having a normal school day, that's what it looks like. So I hope, that I don't know, gave insight into what our days look like. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you have a schedule that you've been using and you love, I'm always open to learning more, because like I said, everything changes and adapts like every few months. So you never know when we'll need it. All right, talk to you later.